Welcome to Employment Law This Week, and Happy New Year. I'm George Whipple. Our top story, a new direction for the NLRB. The last month of 2017 saw the Republicans take control of the board for the first time in 9 years. And the new majority quickly set a new tone, overturning controversial Obama-era decisions. The board discarded the joint employer test adopted in Browning Ferris, created a new test for handbook and rules violations, and reversed the specialty healthcare overwhelming community of interest standard for bargaining microunits. Chairman Philip Miscimarra's term ended on December 16th, and the board has now shifted back to a 2-2 split until a replacement can be confirmed. Steve Swirsky tells us what other changes we can expect in 2018.
The tea leaves are very clear that there are another indeterminate number of precedents that are going to be reviewed. The board members, Kaplan and Emanuel, have given some indications in several footnotes in decisions that said that where they've said they want to look at particular issues and they think that they should be ripe for reconsideration by the board. These include the precedents from the Obama board concerning confidentiality in settlement agreements. Something else that came out in December was a request for information from the board looking for comment and experience from parties across the spectrum on the board's 2014 amendments to the representation election processes. I think it's likely that that's a precursor to another round of rulemaking by the board to address some of the inequities in those 2014 election rules, if not to revert to the prior rules completely.
This new year will also usher in new tax rules, thanks to the tax reform legislation passed by the Republicans. 2018 will see a reduction in the corporate rate from 35% to 21%, and a repeal of the corporate alternative minimum tax. Employers will lose deductions for moving and transportation expenses. Settlements paid on claims for sexual harassment will also not be deductible if they are subject to a non-disclosure agreement. EEOC's wellness rules will be vacated next year. The rules allow employers to offer incentives for participating in workplace wellness programs, worth up to 30% of an employee's cost of health insurance. Back in August, a district judge invalidated the rules and directed the EEOC to reconsider them. In December, the judge amended his order and vacated challenged portions of the rules effective January 1, 2019. The state of California added 859 new statutes last year, and many of them will have an immediate impact on employers. The new laws include a prohibition on salary history and criminal conviction questions during the hiring process. Also, an extension of parental leave for employees of smaller companies. And California employers will see new limitations on worksite access for immigration enforcement officials. And that brings us to our tip of the week. Dr. Gerlin Viskerhind, a partner at CMS Germany, is here with some advice on preparing for the AI workplace.
HR and legal has to be aware of 3 issues that are coming. One could affect the business model. So there might be a disruptive business model which will turn over the organization totally. HR and legal should take into account new forms of the organization. Some of them have already started in many companies. For example, we are talking about matrix structures. We are talking about prosumers, who are a mixture between employees and consumers. We are talking about less hierarchical levels, but more project groups, so people just working together. And we are talking about a non-physical form of collaboration. And thirdly, I think that HR and legal need to make sure that employees and freelancers, of course, will be trained. We will need a new skill sets for employees. It's not that fact-based driven anymore. The future will be more geared to creativity, problem solving, team playing, issue spotting, and these are skill sets which you typically do not learn at university or at school.
Thanks, Gerlin. That's it for Employment Law This Week. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.